Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to this week's edition of Stop, Look, and Listen. I'm your host, LeTroy Gardner. This week, we have a brother that's delivering the soundtrack to life's best moments. We had Darcell on the show this week. How you doing, Darcell?
What's up? What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? What's up, Troy? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. Just blessed and highly favored. You
Amen.
know, trying to live the good life.
Hey, you doing well with it, brother?
All right, man. Good to see you. Give us a
You,
little background into who Darcell is.
hey, man, I'm a brother from Dallas, Texas. Grew up singing in the church, singing a lot of gospel music. Now I'm a husband. I'm a father. Decided to move to LA several years ago to pursue my passion, and so I'm here in LA, man. Independent artist, going for my dream.
Just talk about, taking that risk and moving to LA, and everyone else is there, with a dollar and a dream. Like, how do you separate yourself and push forward, dealing with rejection and things of that nature?
I mean, I separate myself just by being myself. I think that's the common denominator for everyone, the individuality we all bring to life. And so I've tried to stay true, tapped into that. First of all, giving praises to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ has centered me. And then, the rejection continues, man, to this day. When I came to LA, I came to LA with $200 and no place to live. And, it was difficult times. I thought that my talent was enough. I thought that somebody would hear me, and here we go. And it didn't go like that. I just kind of learned, man, that, really what I was came looking for, I actually had with me the whole time. And when I got that revelation, things started to change for me.
What was the biggest lesson that you learned throughout that process?
You know, Probably the biggest, man, is don't focus on what's going on around you, focus on what's going on inside of you. And so that's really, again, man, when I came to LA, I had songs, this and then the third, and I was actually chasing producers. I was chasing, so I'd be cutting demos for guys who had songs, not even looking at my own songs. And when I realized, again, I'll tell you straight up what happened. So one day, I'm at the crib, again, I'm Christian, and the Lord specifically said to me, as sure as I'm talking to you right now, why don't you stop looking for the hookup and learn how to be the hookup? That's the day my life changed.
Okay, I love that. I love that. Um, so when you had that moment where it became crystal clear, did things just start to fall into place? Like the dominoes just started falling for you, to where things was working
Somewhat,
out?
somewhat. I felt better about myself, number one. I felt more now authentic. For a long time, Detroit and LA, I was really trying to say if I was in the studio, I was trying to stay out of people's way. I was just trying to blend in. And I realized, you can't fit in and stand out at the same time. Having said that, things began to move at a faster pace because I was taking ownership of the gift I had and being honest about the vision I was given, as opposed to contorting or capitulating again or trying to fit in. So yeah, things move faster
Okay,
because my
cool.
mindset changed.
Right. How would you define your sound?
Peaceful, love evoking, caressing, emotionally penetrating, and just fun at the end of the day. Just fun music, uplifting, positive music, clean lyrics, and uplifting and positive.
Where do you draw that inspiration from?
Man, just want to make the world a better place. Want to leave my mark on society. Wanting to, create something that outlives me and that transcends the times I'm in. I want, if somebody's here in 23, 24, watching this interview and they refer back to Darcell.net, which is my website, that I'd have something to say to the human experience no matter what times we're in.
Beautiful. Um, let's get into Everywhere, your latest
Okay?
single.
Okay?
Just tell us about the single and what's the story behind it.
Man, everywhere, LaTroy, every song I've ever written has introduced itself to me. So I've never woke up in the morning and said, hey, I'm going to write a song today. Usually the song metaphorically would tap me on the shoulder and say, consider this. Usually the consideration comes through a melody. And so if I have a melody in my heart, I know I have a song looming and waiting to be birthed. And so the same with everywhere. I'm at the house, I'm chilling. You know, to this day, I really practice my musical instruments. I like playing a lot. And so I was playing guitar and started playing this melody, just singing this melody, and just wrote the song probably in half an hour, maybe 45 minutes. And the song is basically, I think it's an ode or anthem to anybody who desires to be loved. So I'm not really an autobiographical writer. I'm more of a situational writer, where I write about a situation that I believe is common to every man. So everywhere, the guy just said, everywhere I breathe, I want you here with me. And I think everybody in society would want to have that person in their lives that they're so connected to, and the reciprocity of love is so strong that they desire to be together all the time. And it's a dance song too. So
Feel good music. So,
yes,
yeah, you just mentioned that you play the guitar. What other instruments do you play?
just keys and guitar mostly. I had a trumpet. My little brother talked about my trumpet, so there you go. But right now, it's just keys. Really trying to get a lot more proficient on piano and a lot more proficient on guitar. So those are two I'm focusing on right now.
Okay. Like any other instruments that's on the bucket list beyond keys
All of
and
them.
the guitar?
All of them. So, man, I had an uncle. My dad's brother passed away, man, but my dad's brother. So I'm reading an article on Prince one night, and Prince mentioned two guys as his musical mentors, and one of them was my father's brother. And so my father's brother played everything. And so I haven't got to the everything stage yet, but you know, a lot of it, man, is just the grind I'm on right now. And I'm hoping as the Lord opens doors and have a little bit more time to not grind, but to kind of strategize musically, that I'll begin to pick more instruments up. But violin is one of the ones, back to the trumpet. I love to play saxophone as well.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I know you mentioned before the interview, we'll pull down the curtain a little bit,
Okay.
how you love the interview I did with Steve Arrington and how he's one of your musical inspirations,
Yes.
you know, amongst others like Stevie Wonder
Yeah.
and James Taylor. But
Yeah.
yeah, just talk about how your sound harkens back to like 70s, early 80s
Yes.
music.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just talk about the Steve and Stevie and James and your
Yeah.
inspirations and how you tap into um, just the musical inspiration that they bestowed upon you.
I mean, it first started out, it was their sound, but it was what they were saying. You know, it was like, you know, like, man, music is audible, obviously, but it has to be a deep experience for me. If I'm gonna write a song, I want to write a song that is not contrived, but I also want to write a song that is coming from a place that I know exists in everyone. And so I look at Steve like Sugar Mama Baby. You know, with Steve Arrington, it was just more for him. It was his sound. He was the first dude I heard, take this the right way, that could kind of use his voice to whine. Yeah, baby. It was like a whining to it. And it's the first time I heard somebody do that. You
Yeah,
know, and it just moved me to get to a place of the authenticity in my voice was for a long time. You mentioned Stevie Wonder, you know, coming up, my brothers and I was singing. We do all Stevie, baby, 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 you know, or Charlie, because the era I came up in, everybody was kind of doing Charlie's thing or Stevie's thing.
yeah,
These three words, you know, and it was like that type of resonation. And when I started listening to Steve Arrington and even Frankie Beverly for sure,
yeah,
he's at my top two or three. Those guys, they just helped shape my sound, not just by what they were saying or how they sounded, but both how they sounded and what they were saying. And it just made me tap into like singing from a place where I'll give it to you like this. Why I didn't pinch my voice to get to somebody else or something and then sing, that I could just let it come out naturally. No inhibitants, no predetermination of the tone. Just sing. And then again, what I was saying. And so that's, I don't know if I'm all over the place with that, but
no,
that's really more how they shaped me. And
yeah,
Steve Arrington, man, that interview again, his authenticity, his transparency, his his intellectuality about the music industry, and his authenticity as it relates to him, his art is something I certainly hope I'm emulating in an organic way, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, that was definitely one of my favorites. Just how, like you said, how transparent he was, and just his story as far as leaving the music industry, for spiritual reasons, and focusing on his personal journey, and then returning, but doing it his way, just
Yeah,
like the
yeah,
independent stuff he does with Stone's Throw. Like
right,
I definitely see the similarities, like with
man.
what you're doing.
Having the courage to be yourself, man. It's in our industry, you have to have courage to be yourself. I'm an independent artist, so I do whatever I want to do, and I've come to a place that when I write a song to try, I write the song for me. I write the
Hmm.
song for me, and then I share it, and I'm trusting that what I'm feeling or my perspective, other people share that. But certainly, I'm writing it for me. I'm beyond the point of trying to write something to hit. It's gonna hit or it's not gonna hit.
Right. What's your blueprint as far as being a successful independent artist? Besides that,
My blueprint for being a successful artist,
independent artist in this day and age.
hustling, you know, being relentless, going with my gut instinct. You know what I mean? I just took my music off all the streaming platforms, and that was a
Hmm.
big step for me. But the reason why I did it, the blueprint we're talking, the reason why I did it is because I don't want people to have to lease my music for the rest of their lives. Because streaming is fine, whoever wants to do it, but it's basically leasing music. You never own the music, so I want people to own my music, and beyond the money split, because that's straight whack, completely whack. But I wanna write my story. I don't want somebody else to write my story. I don't want someone else to dictate how my life goes. I want to be in control of how my life goes. So I think the blueprint would be taking ownership of who I am, not just what I do. And what I found, for me, it works. Once I took ownership of who I am as a man, number one, then an artist, then it's easy to live whatever results happen because when I was streaming my music, it's 100,000 streams, it might be $260, and I didn't feel good about when I revert back to the moment I wrote the song, and I was saying, well, this is not what I saw, and so I just took a chance and said, I'm gonna do it my way.
Yeah. Speak to the importance of building a community, especially when implementing the direct to consumer model.
Well, building a community, man, comes down to just being authentic and loving people. For me, like I'll keep it 100. There are times I still got to sell my physicals, and I'm not balling in 26 million. I get out and sell my physicals. I meet people at the shows. I engage with people on social media. I get engaged with people, and then beyond the fan base, you know, I've learned the value of treating everybody right. The guy at the studio, wherever. So I think loving people, treating people the way I want to be treated, that is where the community is built. Making a blueprint or impact or leaving your fingerprint in a positive way on everybody you engage, and that's what I try to do.
Right. How has the response been from your fans, like after you pulled your music from streaming platforms?
It's been great. It's been great. I think I'm really still building my fan base, but for those who've reached out and those who've gone on my website to purchase my music, it's been great. I think people understand that a if you listen to 10 artists a month on whatever streaming platform, that's $144 a year to listen to those 10 artists a month. You may as well take those 10 artists a month, buy 14 of their songs, own their song, and that's still $140 a year. So I think people understand the math aspect of it, and you know, I think it comes down to, does the fan base really care about you? A lot of times, given they just care about the song. But if you can engage people in a way and give them something they feel like is feeding them and enhancing their experience on this thing called life, they'll get behind you. And I've found that to be true so far.
Do you envision one day putting your music back on streaming platforms? Because I'm thinking about Prince and how You know, he was obviously fighting the
Right.
monster, the
Right.
machine,
Right.
and obviously changes his name to the symbol, and
Right.
not having his music available for a long time on streaming
Right.
platforms or even YouTube. You know,
Right.
people had to um, figure out a way to mask the
Right.
song in order to
Right.
post it.
Right.
But then eventually, you know, they were gradually released to streaming platforms. Do
Right.
you see that happening one day for you?
I don't see that happening.
Okay.
I don't see that happening. No, I don't. I don't like the, again, man, for the artist, for me, it's not just about me. There's a kid that's born 16 seconds ago is going to do music, and I'm going to be an old man to him or her. What I will say is though, I have to leave the industry better than I found it, and I think I think we'll see this bear out too. Someone having a website, making your songs affordable and downloadable on your website, and then doing whatever you get your YouTube ads or whatever ads are boosting and sending them back to your site. I think we'll see the music go back to that. Artists just have to have the courage. Now, mega artists right now who's getting 16 billion streams, if they get 16 billion streams, their front row tickets are $7,000. They're not really tripping. But I want to carry the banner for the independent man or woman and saying, you know what, 1/3 of 1 penny per stream is probably not good compensation for this song you put your heart and soul to. So, in one word, no, I don't see that happening.
Okay. I like that. I like
In
that.
my will, I'll be telling those come behind me, don't do it like that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So with being an independent artist, a lot of times you have to balance the business side and the creative side.
Right.
How do you manage that?
Being a husband and father, the business side is always at the forefront. Because for me, the creative side is the easiest part of it. My catalog right now is probably about 400 songs. I've released everywhere. I think I have 26 songs on my website right now. I have another single I'm releasing on the 30th this month, and then I have another one releasing next month. And I got an album I'm releasing after that already done. An album after that already done. Another album called Hello There World will probably be released top of next year. So the content, that's not even an issue for me. It's navigating booking shows and those type of things. So it's easy to navigate that, knowing that if I don't ever write another song again in my lifetime, I'm not saying people gonna like the songs I put out or not, but I have enough songs to put out already. So that's a piece of cake right now for me.
Right. 400 songs in the chamber?
About that, about that. I've been writing songs for a while. Yeah, about that,
Yeah.
about that. And probably 50 that's half songs.
Right.
I didn't even count it because a lot of times a lot of times I'll start off with a melody, I'll start off with a song, and then once I write the first half of the song, I know the song is done. I already know that, and so I got probably about 50 I need to go back to, and sometimes I live life whereas I'll have something to draw from that I can take back to those half songs. So I do that quite a bit too.
And your process isn't that strange to me because the
Okay.
other show we do, the Good Old Boys, I
Okay.
kind of would work like that as well, where I would use the what you said as far as being inspired by what's going on around me,
Right.
and I'll jot down an idea. I'll start building kind of like the framework of a show, and then I'll just leave it there because I don't want to force the creation. And you just
Right.
gradually finish it when the time is right. And shows
Right.
could sit around for upwards of 2 or 3 years in order for it to be completed. But then there's other shows that I could complete in 5 minutes because
Right.
the idea is just baking, it's cooking,
Yeah.
frying in the skillet,
Right.
and it gets knocked out instantly. So I get that, but
Yeah.
yeah, just 400 songs. It's like, how do you remember like this
About
thought
that.
here should go with this song when you have so many songs just sitting around waiting to be completed?
Well, no, the songs, the four songs, they are completed.
Oh,
They are
okay.
completed. Those are, but like I said, I got probably, I'm just putting a number on it, man, 36 or 37, 50, some songs
Yeah.
that aren't completed. But like I said, once I've learned a long time ago. Once you capture that melody, capture that moment. So I tell younger writers all the time, if you talking about writing a song, once you have an authentic moment, it could be the best moment of your life or the worst moment of your life or somewhere in between. Once you capture that melody, it's in stone. Every time you go back to that feeling is there. So that's usually where my songs come from. And then I'll take the lyric, the melody is what I feel, the lyric is what I think. And then once I take that lyric and kind of match it to that melody, even if it's a half song, when I refer back to it, I say, oh, that's where I was. Here's what I want to contribute to it now. But it bridles me. It bridles me. So it's not a spillage. It's just I'm right there with it. It's a really easy process. I believe that most singers could write songs it's a very easy process to get to. Melody is what I feel, lyric is what I think. Once the cement dries on what I feel, what I think is easy because my thoughts change. I'll take it be red, green, or blue. It depends on what I want to plug in there. It's a very easy process. At least it has been for me.
Yeah.
Dr. Todd McLean provides periodontal and dental implant services in 2 convenient locations. They offer over a decade of experience treating patients, and appointments can even be scheduled in the evenings, weekends, or early mornings. Give them a call in Chapel Hill at 919-537-9774 or in Durham at 919-484-8338 or visit them online at gumsandimplants.org.
When did you feel like you've mastered the art of creating music, or do you feel like you still have a ways to go?
Oh, long way. I have a long way to go. Hey man, like this piano thing is so beautiful to me, and it shows me how much I don't know. Like when I first started writing, I played by ear, so I was writing out of desperation because I wanted to write something so bad. So I'd hang in there until the song was done, and I started playing with people, and people kind of like what I did or whatever. But now, I just lost somebody, man, a couple of months ago who was close to me, and that was the best. I wrote this song, and that's the best song I believe I ever wrote. It was so structurally sound, theory of music. It was theoretically sound. It was the first time I'd ever approached a song based on theory, and it really showed me, oh, I didn't even know I could write those type of songs. It's a very patient song. It's a very broad, and it has the potential to be a big orchestral production type song. And so, man, I'm just getting started.
Okay. You mentioned earlier in the interview as far as changing your philosophy from finding people to work with to doing it yourself.
Right.
But I know there has to be people you would love to collaborate with.
Oh, man, of course. Fantasia, Pharrell Williams, Taylor Swift. And there are many people out there I would love to work with. Again, it wasn't necessarily doing it myself per se. What it was, LeTroy, is I was just chasing people. So I'll tell you this story. So one night in LA, it was a big award show going on. And Denzel had won his big award. And so I see Denzel, say, can I take a picture with you? He said, yeah. Boom, he takes the picture. He puts limo, pulls out. There's a music mogul who gets in his limo. I chased the limo down, full speed, fresh fit on, demo in hand, chasing the limo down. Fine. People laughing, run, Forrest, run, all this stuff. And those moments I refer back to because it wasn't that I was wrong for wanting it. It was as I didn't see myself as a source. I saw other people as a source so one night I'm singing this artist, big artist. When I say big, famous, one of the most famous in the world. He pulls me off stage. He said, man, I can get you paid. I said, word, what's up? At the time, I wasn't even tripping on money. I just wanted position. I just wanted platform. I didn't care about money at the time. It was just me. I wasn't really sweating money. So long story short, he said, come to my hotel. I did. He sleep. Next day I come back, he's gone. Next day I come back, sleep. Next day I come back, he's gone. So we went on for a week, fine. I see him a couple of years later. He's with Quincy Jones. He said, Quincy, man, you ought to sign Darcell right now. Q was like, man, that's not what I'm doing right now. I'm doing film, I'm doing TV. Love this brother, cool. Fast forward the next couple months, I'm at another award show. Who do I see? Quincy. Quincy, let me holler at you, Darcell. You remember my name of one meeting months ago? Let me holler at you, Darcell. Have a seat. He said, man, you should just do it yourself. And I'm like, you cute. Pick up the phone, make that call, then the boy gonna do it. He said, no, you understand what I'm saying, do it yourself. That's how I started selling my own music. So it wasn't like I love collaboration, but it was just I was chasing something I already had. And I didn't have anybody tell me, you're good enough, you got it, you can do this. Your songs are decent. You got everything you need. When I came to LA, again, I had $200, no place to live. So I didn't have a source. I had sources of inspiration, but I didn't have sources of mentorship. And when Quincy told me that, I was like, oh, okay, you see something in me. And so when I said I started doing it myself, not devoid of help or devoid of, again, collaboration, it was just I started looking inside as opposed to looking outside. And that's really when my life changed. That's when my career changed.
Right. And I think even in those moments when, like, the music mogul was asleep in the hotel and things like that, yeah, there's nuggets that you get from those experiences that helps you forge your path along the way.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely. It changed me, man. And even for him to pull me off stage, at the time, I think his album just went diamond. So for him to see something in me, I was singing a cover. For him to see that, and then for Quincy to see something, it validated to me what I possessed. And I wasn't lacking self-confidence, but you come to LA, you don't know anybody, you're living in your car, you're taking a shower at Bally Total Fitness, you brushing your teeth at the service station. For me, I lost a sense of confidence. You know what I mean?
Right.
And a sense of clarity about who I was, man. And that really helped me. It really did. So you're right, those nuggets, it meant everything. And I told Quincy, it meant everything.
Yeah.
Changed my life.
Do you learn more from your wins or your losses?
Losses. I don't think I learned a lot from wins. I learned a lot from losses. The things, when I refer back to things I could have done better, things I should have done better. Even I went through a whole period, man. I wrote a song called Summer Days with a good friend of mine. And, he called me, man. He said, I got this loop. And at the time, I was like, loop? Loop? Okay, man, you got a loop. He said, no, come out of the crib, man. And I did, reluctantly. And the loop was cool. We ended up writing Summer Days. And I sold Summer Days as a single for $5. I sold like 50,000 of them. You know what I mean? On the streets of LA. But my point was, I learned in the moment, I was so prideful. I just thought I was so prideful. I thought I was above a loop. And, I just learned from those type of moments, like, you can be great, you can think you're great, but whatever you are, you didn't give it to yourself. It's not, you didn't, what you're doing, I could tell you're brilliant, I could tell you're intellectual. You went in your mama womb, said, okay, give me all three, give me that. These are gifts that were given. So I learned more from, what I shouldn't have been, or what I should have been in the moment, so I don't continue. You learn from failures so you don't keep making the same failures over and over again. Winning has it has a shelf life. Nobody wins all the time, and really nobody wins forever. Even someone like MJ, you got the records, but the other side, that type of thing.
What do you see when you look in the mirror?
Love. I hope I see I see a work in progress. I see a man who's trying. I see a man who has a heart to please God, and I see a flawed man. I see a man who has so much to learn and so many areas to grow in. That's what I see. And I see I'm a loving father, and I hope I'm a loving husband. I see that as well.
Yeah. What's something about you that people would find most surprising?
I'm a cornball. I'm a goofball. I'm silly. I act silly all the time, and I'm making faces all the time. So probably, like, my music, I'm singing about love and, Build a fire on the wind. Take life nice and slowly. Create from within something that lasts longer. You know, people hear my song, it's love, 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 but it's like, I'm this goofiest, probably the silliest dude you would ever meet. And I never want to live, I'm like a big kid. So I think
So,
people
dude.
be surprised of that.
So, like, something that drives my wife crazy is
Okay.
that I'll just randomly sing a song, just making up a song on the fly.
Okay.
How
Okay.
often do you do that? Is it often just for giggles, or
Yeah.
does sometimes it end up being a song you record?
Always giggles. Always
Uh-huh.
giggles. Yeah. For me, if like I said, if it's a song that introduces itself to me, that's a serious moment.
Yeah.
One time in my life, that I'm aware of, I was driving over the hill and this song came to me and I didn't have my phone or something and I couldn't capture it and I forgot that song forever. So for me, like a real song is a serious moment. Like this could be the moment that changed the destiny of my whole bloodline type thing, you know.
Yeah.
So those moments are a little bit more weighty, but just at the crib, man, I be making up all kind of stuff, you know. And my family knows and my kids that get out with me. My wife's a little bit more subdued. She just kind of laughs and kind of lays back. But my kids are getting there with me. But yeah,
Yeah.
man, I make up songs all the time.
Uh-huh. So you have a song titled American Dream.
Yes.
What is the American Dream to you?
What is the song about?
No, your definition of an American Dream.
For me, American Dream for me and my bloodline and your bloodline and I'll keep it on our people is that, you know, we could live with a latitude of of a different type of freedom. You know what I mean? You know, where I was out last night and I said, excuse me, ma'am, and the lady clutched her purse. And I don't think she meant any harm by it. It was just, she probably watches a lot of news. So to me, the American dream would be that we see ourselves as beautiful as we are. I'll just leave it at that. You know,
Do you feel like that's...
huh?
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I think that even amongst ours, man, and I love everybody. Everybody's beautiful in this world. And I was talking to a good friend of mine, a Jewish guy. He said, "Yeah, you know, everybody's the same." I said, "That's true. Everybody should be treated the same then." So for me, the American dream was just people treat me like they understand that Benjamin Banneker designed Washington, D.C., or they understand that Philip Emile Equality was one of the first guys to put together the mathematical formula that created what we call now the internet. Or that, you know, these contributions we've made over the years, that people will see us and we will see ourselves as valuable and as beautiful as we are. To me, that would be the ultimate American dream.
Is that still attainable in today's landscape?
I think it's each one teach one. You know, I mean, it's a pie in the sky theory until you break it down to how you teach your kids, and how we rally behind that idea.
So, Darcell, what's next for you after Everywhere? Like new music,
Yes.
touring.
Yes.
What's on the docket?
New music for sure. Everywhere is out. It just came out April 25th, and we got Can You Feel Me coming out on the 30th. Then a few weeks after that, we have Summer Day, which is an EDM. What I've been doing a lot of outsourcing on production. So I've been collaborating with people in Europe, collaborating with people in Canada, different producers. I love producing my records, but what I'm finding is everybody has a limited capacity. So I don't want my production sound to get old real fast. So I'll produce this song and then I'll send it to this guy, send the file. He'll produce a version of it. He'll produce a version of it. So you're getting a different flavors of the same song. So several songs are coming out here probably in the next 4 months, probably 18 songs or something like that. You know, two albums packaged, and then singles. So that, I got a TV show, man, that I created. And so I wrote the pilot for that. So I'm starting to put those feelers out there. Really want to get my TV show on the air. And with touring, man, I'll keep it 100. I ain't got nothing popping right now. I just did one in Oklahoma, and I don't really have any shows booked right now, just straight up. So I don't know how the Lord is going to open that door. I'm open, and I'm trusting Him, but I don't have one show booked right now. Not one.
Right.
Straight up.
What's the TV show about?
It's
As much as you can
It's
share.
autobiographical. Dudes comes from Texas to LA to pursue his dreams as a entertainer, and he's the underlying story. He's older than most new artists, like I am. People consider me a new artist, but I'm not 20. You know what I mean? And so he's trying to camouflage his age. It's just this whole thing, comedic thing going on, trying to navigate the woos and woes, if you will, of the entertainment industry, but kind of his fatal flaw, if I can say fatal flaw, his character flaw would be more accurate term, is that he's so insecure about his age. He don't know if he wants it to happen so bad, but he don't know if him being over 40 will be a liability for him. And so we take this whole comedic ride with him, and obviously, eventually he soars, to where he wants to be. But I want to teach people. I want to teach people that, there's no time limit on your dream if you are willing to fight for your dream. If you're willing to be committed to your dream. If you're willing to be take some losses. That's what it's all about. I mean, there are no 55-year-old rookies in football. We get that. But in the game I'm playing, people hit all the time. So I just want to be a source of inspiration, of tenacity, man, and go get that. And when they say no, sometimes you're going to be the only person in the room to say yes. Just go with that yes. So that's kind of what the show is about as well.
Right. And it only takes one yes. And dreams don't manifest overnight. So I think that you're a living testament to why you should never give up on those dreams.
Amen.
And that as long as you're living in faith and creatively pushing the right messaging, that people will love it and support you regardless of whether you're 19 or 45.
Hey, I agree with that 100%. I agree with that 100%, man.
All right, so tell us where we can find the music, since we can't get on streaming platforms. So where can we get
streaming. Can't get it. Sorry, y'all. Sorry, not sorry. You can go to my website, Darcell.net. That's my whole world. You can follow me on IG, all that from there. IG is Darcell official page. YouTube is Darcell official page. And so Darcell.net is my world. I'll tell you this real quick. I don't know when this is going to show, but for Mother's Day, man, I put together a what I call a digital greeting card. And it's a video with my original song, Mama Song. And so I just tell people it's a one-of-a-kind gift for a one-of-a-kind mom. And so it's something I put out there, man, for all the mothers, and hope people check that out.
Okay. All right, brother. Leave us with a parting shot. Whatever's on your heart. Leave us with a parting shot. Whatever's on your heart.
What you call it? A what now?
A parting shot. Closing.
Parting shot. Hey, man, to everybody that's listening, everybody that's watching, I just want to say that I don't want to turn you off, but I just say how good Jesus has been to me. God really turned my life around. He really did. And I just want to say to you that wherever you are, whatever you're going through, whoever cares, who doesn't care, God cares. And you are special. And whatever your deepest dream is, you can manifest that. Oftentimes, it's not what's going on around you that matters. It's what's going on inside of you. So believe in yourself. I believe in you. God bless you. I love you.
Wise words from Darcell. The single Everywhere, out now. Darcell.net.
Hey.
Thank you for your time today, brother.
I love you, LeTroy.
All right, man. Yeah, so like I said, check them out, Darcell.net. And for Stop, Look, and Listen, I'm your host, LeTroy Gardner. See you next week. Peace and blessings.